Hello, everyone. My name is Brian, and I want to take you on a little trip now through the fascinating science of spreading activation and nodes. So, I want to start off with a little exercise, and at this right here, the word hike. If you want to, you can close your eyes and think about what hike means to you and what kind of thoughts the word hike encourages. You'll think of the mountains, some of your hiking friends, a recent hike, the look of the grass, the feel of the grass, and the smells that you encounter while you're on your hike. Now I want you to look at this word right here, hitch. You may think of a trailer. You may think of an actual hitch. You may think of marriage, maybe connection in general. Now, I want you to look at hike, look at hitch, and then read traveler, passenger, highway, car, and ride to yourself. Now, if you're like me, reading those words, every single time you read one of them, the word hitchhike comes into your mind, if it hasn't already, just from seeing the words hike and hitch. The reason why your brain goes to hitchhike is because all of these ideas related to hitchhiking, such as passenger, car, traveler, well, they're interacting with the ideas of hitch and hike, and all of them together are activating the word and idea hitchhike. This is why you're able to think of every idea and memory that you possess. It's because of this sort of road that has these signs that leads you to a certain idea. Now, some connections are stronger than others. Connections between memories form when two ideas are related in some way. These ideas are called nodes, and they are connected by a vast highway that creates a mental map, if you will. Stronger connections allow for memories and ideas to become linked and facilitates faster retrieval of one memory when the other is activated. These connections are called associative links, and they are the reason why memories are often grouped with other memories. This is why whenever you see a school bus, you may think of a funny experience that you had on the school bus, and that might even lead you to think of a funny experience you had in school with the same person. Now, one of the most interesting aspects of nodes and these mental networks has to do with something called spreading activation and fan effects. Spreading activation is the result of multiple nodes activating and leading to other nodes. This wave of cognition is like a highway we travel extremely quickly, only noticing certain thoughts while we are on the way to others. Fan effects occur when connections between nodes are not strong, leading our brain to travel many different highways before it reaches the desired memory. This is why studying helps us understand a topic better. We are strengthening the paths that lead from idea to idea. This is why when you study, if you take an exam and you have a certain question that pertains to that material that you studied, the correct answer may pop in your head in just few seconds as opposed to a few minutes if you did not study and strengthen those connections. Spreading activation is present even in young children, the brains of children as young as 9 years of age, so considerable skill in the utilization of spreading activation. And this does suggest that spreading activation is an extremely important concept that is present from early childhood and is an important mechanism in human development that is present for all of our lives, starting at just early childhood. This is all interesting information, but how can we use these ideas to create healthier mental networks? Well, I'm going to start off with a personal example. So I'm going to use a personal example. I used to play a video game that I really enjoyed for a while. However, after a couple weeks of play, the game started to become extremely competitive to the point where the game was no longer enjoyable. So, this is what the game looks like inside my brain. This is how it is now represented. There's a strong connection between my node for this video game and my node for competitiveness. So now the game is no longer relaxing whatsoever because the pathway between the competitiveness is just so strong. That's the only thing I relate the game with. However, by changing the way that I would play and taking it a bit more easy, I completely reprogrammed the way that my mind viewed the game. Whereas before this reprogramming, I would just think of the competitiveness, which would lead to perhaps some irritation. Now, when I think of the game, or I think of relaxation in general, there's a very, very strong connection between the two. I no longer relate the game with competitiveness at all, just because I've changed the way that I think about this game and I've strengthened the connection between relaxation and the game. This is just a fine example of the power of positivity. Thinking positively about certain ideas can lead to a more positive view of them. This is because you are strengthening the connection between certain ideas and positive feelings. This means that over time, the positive feelings regarding an idea will activate more reliably than and overpower the negative feelings. This, for me, is extremely powerful because it essentially means that we do possess the strength to completely change our view of a certain idea or memory. And this is one of the central things in cognitive behavioral therapy, is trying to change someone's cognition so that they see a negative memory or situation in a more positive light. And the most amazing thing about this research for me is that we are able to do this as individuals, independently. So that's my presentation. I really hope that you can take something away from this and that you're able to apply these ideas and they can help you achieve a more positive view of certain situations in your life. Thank you.